Hello, and welcome to Do Whatever You Think Whatever You Do. I'm your host, Daryl Scott, and today this is episode 8, and we'll be talking about nutrition. Today, my co-host is Miss Danielle Solomon. She is a nutritionist. Danielle, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So, Danielle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I have a certification from Precision Nutrition. That was my first certification. After that, I got my yoga teacher training, and that led into personal training, Pilates, another yoga, a Thai yoga training.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I think that's it.
Thai yoga.
Oh, stretch.
Thai yoga
Dynamic
as well
stretch.
as yoga.
Thai yoga massage.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
Stretch.
So you started off with nutrition first, because that's
My
what you
first
named.
ever.
So that was the first thing that you got
Mhm.
before. That's interesting
Mhm.
because I didn't need, I used to personal train as well, and I learned about becoming a nutritionist while I was training, but I didn't know that people do that first and then the opposite way around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of your efforts in the gym,
Mhm.
it really does come down to your nutrition, where you can be wasting your time if you're not doing the right things.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what made you get into nutrition?
Well, I had my own journey where I was overweight,
Okay.
and so I kind of went into this whole learning how to lose weight kind of thing, just from research, like all these crazy diets that I don't recommend.
A couple of trial and errors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which eventually did lead into an eating disorder,
Wow.
so I would constantly be restricting and binging.
Really?
So when you start to go on your nutrition journey, a lot of the times if you're not guided by someone,
Yeah.
it's really easy to kind of get into bad patterns. It gets a little obsessive,
Yeah.
and it kind of hinders you from living your life the way
Yeah.
that you want to while reaching your goals. And because I went through my own ups and downs, like
Mhm.
reaching my goals, but also not being healthy
Okay.
here and in here, I wanted to help people. I still even struggled with it up till recent past.
Really?
Yeah, I'm much better now.
Okay.
It was a part of the nutrition journey was me also wanting to help myself,
Yes.
learn about what I can do for myself,
Yeah.
and then also better help
Others.
other people.
Yeah. So how were you during COVID?
So that was when I got the certification.
Oh, okay.
So during COVID, I actually got extremely lean, but again, in an unhealthy way.
I got you.
So I did lose a lot of muscle. I was really
Okay.
small.
Do you think that had to do with the fact that we were in COVID, you couldn't move, and
No, because I was moving. Oh,
Okay.
I was making sure I was moving,
okay,
but it was all obsessed. It was all about being obsessed about it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what made you get into it, and then so you got your certification when? Back in, what is this, 2020 or 2021?
2020.
Something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
And then how has it been in terms of people? What types of clients have you had so far?
I've had a few different kinds. It's a range of less experienced people,
Mhm.
and experience I mean by whether they have experience tracking calories or whether they barely know what a calorie is or how
Yes.
many calories are in food. So
Yeah.
each one of those people will get tailored to differently.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone who has more experience, who has tracked, who doesn't have a history of obsessively tracking,
Yes.
I can give them specific needs. So macros, calories, protein, carbs, fat. Then there's people who just want the basic, I want to be healthy, I want to lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
I don't want to track.
Yeah.
And then there's ways to go about that too.
I was going to ask, because I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that don't kind of want to get into that part. They
Yeah.
just want to know what they should be looking out for. So what would you tell a person like that?
A person who
A
doesn't
person
have
who doesn't
specific
want to do
body
the
goals.
calorie, who doesn't
Yeah.
want to do the calorie counting. They notice that that they're a little overweight and that they
Mhm.
probably can change some of what they're eating, but they just don't know what to do.
Right. So I go into
Actually, before we do
Yeah.
that, let's rewind real quick.
Yeah.
Say this was a first timer coming to you. and this is what their goals. How would you handle that? Let's start
As in,
like that.
I've never tried to lose weight before. What do you mean first?
Yeah, this person who is now seeking a nutritionist, the doctor said that, maybe it's giving them hypertension and high blood pressure issues. They might be borderline diabetic, so they need to change some of their eating habits. So now they decided to come and see you,
right?
And this is what they told you. And this is a person who's a little bit overweight, doesn't really go to the gym,
Mm-hmm. So, assuming this person knows like which foods are carbs, fat, and protein. If they
Yes.
didn't, I would
Yeah.
I would give them like a list.
Mhm.
So there's food groups.
Yes.
There's your protein, again, your carbs and your fat.
Mhm.
There's fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
So the way that I would break it down, first of all, is I would ask, how do you eat now? Break me down your day.
Okay.
And I know every day can be different, but
Yes.
Just in a roundabout.
Yes.
After listening to that, I would then try to make a small change. So that was the big thing between me knowing when I did my certification, I
Mhm.
knew so much about how to get to my goal.
Yes.
But I kind of lost track of where I was
Don't
going
worry.
here.
Mhm. But sometimes people that are coming to you, they don't know what
Yeah.
to do at all.
Right. No. So again, I'll just go back to what I would say to
Yeah.
a client. So there's your carbs, protein, fats.
Yeah.
Your hand can be your serving size.
Yes.
So a lot of the times, people are obsessively measuring out. We don't need to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, protein is going to be the size of your palm.
Okay.
It's going to be the thickness of your palm.
Okay.
And protein is going to be super important. It keeps you the fullest.
Yes.
So you're going to get 6 portions of that a day.
Okay.
Then we have your vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fist size.
Okay.
Again, 6 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have your carbs, 3 servings a day. And
Okay.
carbs are going to be like your rice, your bread.
Right.
But it's going to be about like a half a cup. It's going to be your scoop palm.
Okay.
And then your fat is 2 a day, and it's the smallest one because it's the highest calorie per gram.
Okay.
It's going to be just like a thumb size.
Okay.
So you'd start with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think here in America, the portion sizes when you go out to eat is what's crazy and affecting us, because these portion sizes are much larger than what you just described. And, there's probably going to be a couple of reasons why people eat all of the food. One of them could be the way they were brought up and taught to eat all of the food. One of them definitely is probably because of the way the food tastes, which makes you want to keep eating it.
Highly palatable, yeah.
Exactly. And then, sometimes some of those people, they probably don't cook as much, which probably plays a huge part because they don't know what's in the food that they're eating. The portions are not good. It's just all of those things that they could tweak, any of those things.
Exactly. So this is like a very flexible way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to go out to a restaurant and look at the food that you got
Mm-hmm.
and eat an appropriate amount, drink lots of water, sit for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people also don't know, it takes like 20 minutes for your signals to go like, okay, I'm full.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So I would definitely say portion size and eating, I guess, in moderation.
Yeah.
What do you think about desserts?
I think that if dessert makes you happy, that you should eat dessert.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So, but do you think that sometimes this may be an issue that people may have? Like, okay, so I remember when I was training, I would have some clients and we would, brush over what they're eating. And, actually, maybe this has happened to you. Do you have, it'll probably be someone who's at the gym and wants to come off a little more, maybe healthier, if you will, than they actually are. So if you ask them, listen though, if you ask them what they eat, they're going to tell you all the good things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you just know, you can look at the person and you are hearing what they're saying and you're like, this doesn't match up.
Believe me,
So
I've had a bunch of nutrition consultations where they come to me and they're like, I just eat salad.
Yeah, you know what I'm
and
saying?
then I go home and I have like chicken and vegetables. And it's not that I think that they're lying. It
You
could
know that
be
there's more to
portion
that.
size. It could be the way that it's
There's
cooked.
more to it.
Yeah, they could forget. Sometimes people don't know there's calories when you add milk and sugar to your coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Little things
people
like this.
really don't know. Like they think
And they
a
might
smoothie
drink
doesn't
6
count.
coffees.
Yeah.
And not realize, something like that.
Exactly.
And they think it's nothing.
Right.
But they need to give you everything. So I would ask my clients, well, what are you eating that's not good for you? You know, and then most of them have kids. So cookies is always that. I mean, I'm telling you, if I've asked 10 clients, 8 of them would say they eat cookies. They binge on cookies because they're in the house because of the kids. I didn't actually know that cookies could do that to people. Could make people. I mean, I don't know exactly how much cookies and how many different types, but I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
That if someone was binging on cookies,
yeah,
it could, make you gain weight. Like
oh
this.
yeah.
I had no idea.
You probably have a very fast metabolism.
I have it, and see, yes. I have a very fast metabolism, and I've noticed this with myself, but also when I'm talking to people, say I'm very lean and all of that. They don't realize that I work hard to keep it because my metabolism is so fast.
He's in the gym every morning before I even get there. He's there and gone before I even get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, every day.
And then the pickleball adds more. I'm burning more by doing that and all of these things. But I like these things. So what I had to do was understand what I needed to do to get to the desired look and maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said before, you was able to do that with you, and I was able to do that. I think a lot of people, and I don't understand why, people are not observant of what they are doing.
Some people, their first goal, it depends on the person again, but I would say, let's do, for the first week, I want you to just do a food journal.
Yes.
So just, because some people don't even realize it, so like, I want you to track everything that you eat, let's look at it.
Yeah.
Because if some people are coming to me and they're like, it doesn't make sense, I track every calorie, blah, blah, blah.
It's like, write it down.
We need to journal it. We need to journal it out.
As soon as you eat, write it down
Mm-hmm.
and send. But you know what? I feel they really have to, like you said, pay attention and zero in on this project if they want to get the desired result. Because it could be like eating can be as simple as breathing for people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you train people in the gym, sometimes I notice that people stop breathing when they're doing the exercise.
Yeah. So I'm there sometimes just to say, okay, breathe.
Exactly. So if they are not remembering to breathe, think about if they are doing things and they rushing to grab something to eat, if they're going to remember to write down, I just had this. Or no, you know what I'm saying? So, and actually, I feel like if you have to do that with this particular person, that means that they need to be paying a little bit more attention to what they are doing.
It takes a certain amount of attention, but again, we want to stay away from like having too much attention and focus on it because that's where disorderedness comes in. So it's like a certain kind of attention on it.
This is an interesting thing. I know we're coming off a little bit off of the nutrition part, but extremities. I feel like this is something that happens a lot in America. We go from this and all the way there,
mindset.
And it's like, what happened to the middle?
Yeah.
There's so much middle spectrum, and this is exactly where we need to be falling. Yep. But you have all the people here and all the people over there. It's just
same thing with dessert. A healthy balance.
Yeah.
So sometimes for people, dessert doesn't do it for them. They don't care about it. Maybe they like chips or whatever.
Yeah.
But some people are like, I need to have something sweet after dinner every night. So it's like, okay, you need that.
Yeah.
Then you need to make that fit in. So you can't have dessert. If you know you need it at night, you can't be having after every meal. It depends on your goals.
Yeah. And maybe they need to find, there are healthier than other desserts. So
healthy doesn't always mean less calories. So if your goal is health, like you're like, I don't want to eat gluten or dairy or something, and that's your preference.
I got what you're saying. So it's about the calories. They need to pay attention.
There's some things that are, so if you take a cookie, like a regular cookie, and like a diet cookie, it can be less calories. It might be more unhealthy, actually.
Yeah, I know. This is something that we have been talking about lately, actually, that some of these things that they are saying are supposedly diet or healthy turns out sometimes to be worse than the original.
Yeah.
No, this is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about, I guess, like the complex sugars versus the simple sugars? Like a person who likes hard candy. What do you think about?
So,
Because there are people who like
right.
hard candy.
So here's the thing. If you like hard candy,
Mm-hmm.
if I told you that we're done with hard candy,
Mm-hmm.
you're not eating it anymore,
Yeah.
you would start to obsess over it, right? So
Just because of the thought.
just because we're taking it away, right
Taking
now
it
it's like
away.
on this pedestal.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, so maybe for 5 days you're not eating the hard candy.
Yeah.
And then the 6th day comes, and you're in bed just eating hard candy all day long because you didn't have it in moderation. You didn't learn to eat it in moderation. You can reach your goals with hard candy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a healthy choice, but I think when you're living life, you should be able to enjoy the things that you like to enjoy.
Yeah,
we only have one life.
Exactly what I think. I think it's in moderation, especially if you feel that you need it. You know what I mean? Because again, all this stuff, all this that we're talking about goes back to your mental and overall wellness. I mean, the food feeds the brain, which is going to give us the energy to think, to move, to do all of these things, and to even feel good throughout the day. You know what I mean? So if there's something that a person is wanting and they deprive themselves of it, they're gonna be in a mood.
This is coming from someone who restricted. For me, I restricted a whole bunch, and then overdid it because I restricted. So
did you find yourself like moody at times also?
Oh yeah.
Did you notice it, or did like people have to say something and then you would think about it?
No, I knew that like
you was
food would drive my moods. It would be like all I thought about. I had the all or nothing mindset. If I had in my mind messed up eating wise that day, I threw it all out the window.
Really? So this was it was like a pre-thought when it was happening. You would wake up one day and be like, listen, I'm going to. Would you fight it in your mind?
No, I think I always woke up with the intention of changing my body, which would mean I was restricting in some way. And then it would go on. Sometimes it would go on for a week. Sometimes it would go on for 2 days. Sometimes whatever. And then I would overdo it, right? So if I messed up, I would then take the whole day, ruin it. That sometimes even trickled into 2 or 3 days in a row.
Wow. Would you, were you going through this journey alone? Like, did you tell anybody about it, or were you going through it alone? First question.
My mom knew.
Okay.
I would say I tried to come off as normal to like everyone else, my friends and stuff like that. I didn't want people to know that about me. So my mom knew. My mom struggled with the same thing.
Oh, okay.
We both became obsessed with. Yeah.
Was it at the same time?
No, my mom.
First.
When she was around when she was younger, yeah.
Yes.
And she still fights with it. Whereas like I really completely let it go, and it feels so good.
That's good.
My mom, she still picks on herself. She'll work out. If she doesn't work out, she gets hard on herself. You know.
What do you think about this mindset? Because I think that I feel like if someone is on top of themselves because they missed a day and they knew that they normally would have that day or something, I kind of think that this is good because at least they're keeping themselves, on some type of routine or schedule, and they're holding themselves accountable.
I don't think that, I just don't think that you should be hard on yourself. Like, I think that you can acknowledge I missed a day and I didn't want to miss a day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
make it up. Exactly. Just make it up.
And be kind to yourself.
That's
because there's no point in. Would you shame me if I missed a day at the gym, or what would you tell me?
No, I would have said we missed you at the gym yesterday.
Yeah. And I would have said, I know. I wish I was there. I was so upset, and you'd say, "Don't be upset."
Yeah, I'd be like, "No, you're here today."
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So I definitely, but you're right. Some people, I guess, again, here we want everything and we want it now. So sometimes we get very frustrated if that's not happening, whether it's results that we're trying to look for ourselves, something from someone.
Patience and consistency is key.
Yeah, I agree. I want to go back real quick when I asked you about if anybody knew about how did that part feel? Like, what was it a struggle? And what did you take from that? Like, because I'm sure you have a huge amount of empathy for someone who may be going through something like that on their own because you did. So how did it feel first, and what would you say to people who might be going through that same thing?
So I was, extremely unhappy, really. Like, I thought that if I could just get to this goal, it would make me happy, and I would all of a sudden know how to eat normally.
Okay.
That didn't happen. I did reach a goal, and guess what? I just wanted another goal, and another goal, and another goal. Like, I would never just kind of be happy where I am while at the same time going towards a goal, because when you are happy where you are and you're going towards a goal, that's where patience, kindness, consistency comes.
You're right.
If you're hating yourself, and so like you're you, you're your team, and you hate yourself, and you're trying to get somewhere, all you're gonna do is take yourself down because you hate yourself. You know what I mean? So,
and it's like, even if you do achieve that goal, it's not you're not going to release those happy and feel good chemicals that we usually release when we, you know what I mean? This is an interesting thing that you just mentioned, because I think I've seen this happen a lot. What you're saying, I've seen actually a lot of professional athletes, and I could see that sometimes they'll get angry at something in the game and they take it out on the game. They usually win, actually, too. But I've started thinking in the recent years, because I kind of used to operate like that, too. I used to, like, if I was doing something and say I did it a little bit wrong the first time, and my mother or whoever, chastised me, and then I started to I would make sure I got it right, to shut them up, because I didn't want, no, seriously. So these people, I just lost the train of thought that I was saying.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But what did I just say? I said something about the people
getting mad, beating
themselves up. What do you say about, this type of thing?
No, so I don't, again, like, I get it because I've done it, but I don't think that it's gonna get you where you want to be. So, back to, like, what I would say to someone.
Or you're not feeling complete afterwards. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, these athletes that, that pull from an angry space. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're pulling from an angry space, I don't think that you are going to get the gratification that you probably would have gotten if you weren't pulling.
You don't want to let that kind of emotion get the best out of you. Yes. You can use that emotion and utilize it towards your goals.
Yeah.
But anger and hate are like two different things. You know, so
that's true.
If you're your own worst enemy, like you don't think good things about yourself, you're most likely not going to reach whatever you're trying to reach, or whatever goal you're trying to reach.
I have a question. Do you think that there is a difference between being tough on yourself, having expectations because of what you know that you can do, versus being hard and beating yourself down? Because I feel like they're two different things.
It's like
they can go side to side, and it's a very slippery slope, what we're talking about right now. But I do think that you can be healthy, and just, I call it observant.
I think that's what it is.
That's what you're right.
I'm also going through like this balance, because I used to be a hardcore 6 day a week. I would go no matter what. I don't care what was going on. I was at that gym doing whatever lift I was supposed to be doing that day. And I'm kind of like, I know the thought you're having, because I get stuck kind of between like self-compassion, self-love, but it's like, what is self-love? Is self-love going to the gym, or is self-love taking a rest? I think it depends on the day, and I think we need to be in tune, like intuitive with ourselves. And if self-love means taking a rest day and you go to the gym, I don't think that's like really the best thing to do. It depends on what's going to make you happy.
I agree.
I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not in the mood to go to the gym, like I'm not going to go. But if you know, for example, this morning I woke up for yoga. I woke up tired.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know I want to go.
Yeah.
So I could have slept, or I could have went. I went.
Yeah. It's true. It happens to me sometimes too. It is true that sometimes if you miss a day though, and the people that see you, they're like, "Where were you yesterday?" or whatever, Or,
and I'm not saying like be a wussy. I'm not saying like give a trophy to everyone who participated, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think you just need to hold yourself accountable. So if you missed a day, I think there's no point in beating yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
You can acknowledge it. Maybe why did I miss it?
Mm-hmm.
Understand it,
Yes.
and just try to do better next time.
2 more questions. I want to get into if a person does cook or can cook, but they say that their time is limited or what have you, what would you say to this person?
There's super quick, easy things that
Mm-hmm.
you can do. I mean, depending on the budget, there's meals that you can microwave. There's meals, like there's frozen meals, all those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I love salmon, I love chicken. It literally takes, if you're cooking chicken on the stove or whatever, 5 minutes on each side maybe, like on a medium-high heat.
Mm-hmm.
Salmon, I literally throw it in the oven under broil.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And then I go sit on the couch or whatever. Super easy.
Yeah.
Rice, you boil it, it's done. You can step away from the entire kitchen.
Yeah.
I would say kind of things like that, like rice is really easy. Or preparing like a sandwich or a wrap for lunch if you want.
What do you think about a person cooking and leftovers? So like cooking on Sunday and having it stretched to like Wednesday or something like this?
It depends on the food.
Okay.
So
because some people don't believe in letting the food do more than one night.
No, I love leftovers.
Yeah, I think leftovers are actually better. It settles into the food, the season, the
vegetables can last like 5 to 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Carbs, I want to say like rice, I want to say like 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing chicken or fish or beef, it's like 3 or 4 days. So it just depends on the food.
Okay.
So prepare accordingly so that you don't waste.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other question was for the person who doesn't know how to cook and they're always eating out.
Yes.
What would you say to this person?
So that I was actually going to touch on this before.
Yeah.
When I was struggling
What if they love fast food? Or let's not say they love fast food. They love food. This is what they feel that they only have time to get.
Okay, fine. And they're okay with keeping that? They're okay with, or do they want to change this habit?
I would say that they're open to changing.
Okay.
Let's go with.
We can talk about both.
Let's talk
about
both.
The restaurants.
Yes.
And then let's talk about the fast food.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, this is just the truth. First, I just want to get this out there. You can lose weight on fast food. Fast food is not healthy. So if your goals are to be healthy, optimally don't choose it.
Okay.
You can lose weight eating fast food. Mm-hmm. Why? Because losing weight is about calories in, calories out. You track the calories you eat, you track the calories you burn, bam.
You know what, real quick, there is something that I have noticed because they are now posting the amount of calories that are in their food. So they're showing that, like you said, that the calorie count isn't so high. But like you said, that doesn't mean the quality of the food.
And you might find yourself still hungry.
Yeah.
So depending, like if you get, because a burger from McDonald's, the Big Mac, it's like that big or whatever. It's like 550 calories or something. That's probably a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
But that's a lot, especially for someone like me, and it might not really make you very full. It depends. You might, that's why vegetables are so great. That's why protein is so great. But anyways, when I was struggling with my issues, anytime I'd be out to eat or like at a party with food, I would feel really high stress because I'm like, I don't know the calories in the food. I can't eat this food. Blah, 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 So food situations made me very stressed out. So if you're trying to lose weight, or gain weight, same thing. Like, you're gonna look at the food. You'd establish what's a protein, carb, and fat, and you measure. You can use your hand as just a little. It's always with you, and you eat accordingly to that, and you don't have to stress. Okay. Trust your body. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. Your body knows what it's doing. Yeah. It does.
Yes. Listen to your body. And the body will treat you back the right way. I think this is a great way to leave off today's episode. Thank you, Danielle, for coming.
You're welcome.
We got to have you on again.
Yeah, I got lots to talk about.
Until next time, see you.
Whatever you